All right, welcome back. Another Chew Quieter, and we were gone for a week. You were on vacation in Florida.
Yeah, we left last weekend. Went out to Miami for a birthday party, and then extended the weekend and did some time out in South Beach, Miami Beach. Then went down to the Keys for a day. Did trip to Robbie's, fed the tarpons, and then did a little snorkeling out at the lighthouse and Alligator Reef. Quick turnaround trip. It was like in and out. It was just fast and crazy, and I'm still tired from it.
You went to Florida just for someone's birthday party?
Yeah, my nephew.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. If it was like a friend that you met from like
Yeah,
two
like
years
some
ago or
face some
something.
Facebook friend I met at a
Yeah,
Jeep event somewhere.
uh,
No, my nephew.
then I would have been like, man, are you charging people now for appearances?
I wish I could do that.
I've
No, no,
heard, I've actually heard some people are doing that right now. Like, there's actually some quote unquote
influence
influencers charging for
influencers.
appearances, and I think that's fucking ridiculous.
Hey, people pay it.
I
Whatever.
mean, yeah,
I'm
whatever.
not
I
paying
mean,
it. I'm
I'm
not
not.
paying it,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
hey, I'll take the money if someone wants to offer it to me. I'll do visits all day long. Just tell me where to go. Send me the
yeah.
checks.
I will too, but I don't. I just what what. First of all, what am I influencing? Who am I influencing? And what? How good of an influence am I?
Yeah, again, I don't know. I don't know, but
I'm not a good influence to anybody.
a poor
You could
influence to everybody.
you can ask any of my friends' mothers as a kid, and it was probably do not hang out with that fucking kid. He's a bad influence.
Ask my kids who's a bad influence in the houses. It's me.
Give me an example. Is it like kind of like the wife says no ice cream, and you're like, hey, let's go get some ice cream?
No, nothing that innocent.
Oh my god.
so, so I have a 21, soon to be 22-year old, and a uh, 17-year old. So two daughters. Youngest, I can't pay her to drink, to taste the drink. I'm like, here, give this a shot. No. And here, I'll give you $20 if you try this whiskey. I'll give you $20. You try this rum. Nothing. Won't try it. Nothing. She doesn't cuss.
Wow.
Like she sings songs, and the curse words get edited in her head. I'm like, whose fucking kid is this? And it's not like Kim's like a church mouth. She's got a mouth like a sailor too. It's
Hmm.
just weird. I have two kids that won't cuss at all. My oldest, now that she's 21, has started drinking, and over the weekend at the party, it's a 1 year old Mexican birthday party, so someone's
Hmm.
got to be drunk, and
Yeah.
it was my daughter.
How bad was it?
Oh, it was bad. It was
Oh
terrible.
no.
Luckily, it was just family, so it was funny. But the kids' party ended, and then all of a sudden, we were playing Cards Against Humanity. So that's what kind of party it was.
Okay.
So it wasn't completely out of line, but she was just a little over the top, and she doesn't drink very often.
Hmm.
She's more of a green child, and she did this last year. Went to Puerto Penasco in Mexico, and we sat at the bar and we just pounded freaking drinks for hours. And she got totally shit faced. When we went to Vegas for her 21st birthday, she didn't really drink. I kept trying to buy her those big old
Oh,
giant
the long
daiquiris,
boys.
the big old thing she's got around her neck. She walked around her neck with her and her friend and her boyfriend, and they sipped on it a little bit, but they never really got drunk or drank a lot out there.
Wow.
And they were under supervision, and I was paying. So, but now she's a little more free with using my card to get drinks. Now she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna order a drink." I'm like,
Mm.
Okay, she's learning.
Open bar.
She's
She
all,
knows.
she's all,
She knows what an open bar is. That's what it is.
yeah. I get dad's credit card, and I can buy whatever I want now.
I mean, come on. How many times have you heard open bar at somewhere you had no intention on going to until you heard open bar, and then you're like, oh, I'm there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I guess I got to cancel whatever I was gonna do instead.
It's almost like someone inviting you to a all you can eat sushi bar you didn't know about.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I go to sushi and I pay full price. There's some places I'll go in and I'll get the chef's plate, and do it up and spend a lot of money. But most places, there's a reasonable amount that I'm going to buy. But all you can eat is
Oh my god.
freaking walrus.
Yeah. Line them up.
Yeah, bring them on.
Yeah, don't stop.
Yeah. Then you just
gonna have to
roll me out of there.
Gonna need a sharpener for this little fucking pencil.
Yeah. Can I get another pencil? I've ran it out.
Speaking of dinner, what made it the go-to thing to take a first date out for dinner? Why did that become the norm where you met this cute girl and you're infatuated with her, and all of a sudden you're going to take her to dinner and you're going to show her how much of a slob you are while you eat? She's going to look at you and say, who the fuck raised you?
Yeah, see all my bad habits. See how cheap I can be. It's just a litmus test, basically. Let's see. First, it starts with the restaurant choice.
Yeah.
Where are you taking me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you took me to the Outback. Okay, this guy's a cheap ass.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
take me-
because there's a psychological warfare going on
Mhm.
where you're trying to save money and she's trying to figure out how much money you make.
Yep. Oh,
So-
yeah. How much money you make, how much you're into her. There's all this stuff that happens behind the scenes that's in their brain, and you're just like, okay, I got this much in my bank account. How much can I
Yeah.
really spend before I can't eat the rest of the week? And
Yeah.
and it's especially then you're single. I mean, maybe you have roommates. You don't have food in your kitchen. There's mustard and an empty jar of pickles that you use the pickle juice for. And that's it. So,
Or you could do what I did when my first date with my wife. I invited her to my place and I made her pasta because a box of pasta is like 99 cents.
Yeah, it was on sale, 2 for $1.
Yeah, a fucking jar of ragu and
Yeah, church it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Church it up a little bit. Throw a little of whatever in there and church it up, and yeah, you're good.
Instead of the Kraft Parmesan, I actually got the block of cheese and I grated the shit myself.
You went to the Olive Garden the day before and stole the grater.
Yeah, that's how I won her. That's how I won her. It was the pasta.
Nice.
Yeah, you find you a woman that likes carbs and make her pasta. I mean, what else can you do though? I mean, okay, you meet this girl. Your choices are dinner, a movie, and you can't really get to know each other during the movie. So that's kind of if it's a movie choice, it's because you're not into each other. If she agrees to the movie, you want the movie. You're not really into each other. You're just doing the thing.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
putt was always fun for me. Putt
Yeah.
golf.
Yeah. Go into the golf and stuff.
Yeah, it just gives her a chance to see how fun you can be. A wallflower or
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah.
What else?
I mean,
Bowling,
well,
maybe.
it's bowling. But it depends how white trash you're dating.
Yeah, she's ordering Bud Light. Watch out, might have a ding-a-ling.
Yeah, she's ordering PBRs and shots of whiskey at bowling. You might have a winner.
Yeah. Well, the fun thing about bowling is it's an hour, right? You rent the lane for an hour, so you're basically planning your night with the intent that it's going to be an hour for this fun activity, and then you're like, okay, what else I got the rest of the night? So that's when you kind of pull in the Dave Chappelle thing where in Half Baked, where you're kind of going for a walk. You're doing the simple, what did he get her? An ice cream cone or something like that? Just a simple little treat. That's
stuff. Well, then you have like the Dave and Buster's now, where you can just do it all. You can go have a drink at the bar. You can have dinner. You can bowl. You can go play some arcade games. There's ice cream and crap there too. So you kind of get it all at some of these places.
Yeah. It's not like after, well, I wouldn't say that. Okay. At what point do you say, okay, we've gone on X amount of dates. I can now take you to McDonald's. What, 5, 4,
Well,
6?
is it that really a dinner, or is that just after just hanging out? Like it's lunch and we're just gonna go grab something quickly on the way somewhere else where you happen to pick her up at like noon and she's like, I want a little bite, and you just pull in somewhere, pull into McDonald's, pull into the Burger King, Chick-fil-A, whatever your flavor might be, and then go from there.
I remember one time I had met this girl and I was really into her, right? She worked at the Home Depot on Whittier Boulevard. And she was a student also, so she didn't really have a lot of time. So I was like, hey, meet me at the Shakey's. It was perfect. She was like, no one has ever thought of this before. Everyone was always asking me out and never have time. No one ever thought about taking me to Shakey's. I was like,
yeah,
perfect. I love Mojo's.
There you go. Mojo's. Chicken and Mojo's. That's it. I mean, there's nothing else to go to Shakey's for. Yeah, they might sell pizza, but you're there for chicken and Mojo's.
You're there for yeah. The pizza's pretty good. I mean, it's not your normal. It's not like a Domino's pizza or anything. It's a little bit better than Domino's. I would think.
It used. I think it used to be better. I remember they used to do a lunch. And they put the pizzas out, the buffet style, like pizza bar, pizza wing, pizza chicken, and Mojo's out there. And I think it was I worked at Rancho Dominguez, and there was one in Carson, like a couple miles away. And we used to go there and just destroy, like 5 or 6 of us from the company.
It was like
used to go
$3.99 or something.
Yeah, it was like $5, and you could just destroy the freaking place. And all 6 were just going there, just piles and more piles and piles on top of that.
Yeah,
that's when I used to eat pizza.
And I think there was a time where Chuck E. Cheese they had the same type of lunch deal, and we went there one time. And it was the worst idea ever, just because it was moms with their kids and
screaming kids running around like everywhere. Yeah,
but it was stupid cheap, and I don't know why, but I love Chuck E. Cheese pizza. It's one of my favorites.
It's like cardboard pizza.
I know, it's horrible.
It's like Geno's in the box.
No, it's not that bad.
It's that bad. It's that bad. You're just checking out the MILFs. No comment.
No, because I was never really into chicks that had kids. We called them trophies.
Trophies.
Yeah. If she has more than one trophy, kind of I gotta watch out. She has 2 trophies, don't even bother. She has 3 trophies.
Run.
Yeah, just run. She's got 3 baby daddies. Run. 2 baby daddies. You might want to stick in there a little bit. Depends. One might be in jail, so you're really only dealing with one at that point.
Until he gets out.
Until he gets out and he's, why are you with my chick, man?
Yeah,
that actually happened to me.
She never broke up with him when he went to prison.
So that actually happened to me. So when I was in high school, I dated this girl, and her boyfriend was older than her, like by quite a few years, and he went to jail. I didn't know she had a boyfriend, and I didn't know this guy, and obviously didn't know he went to jail. So we actually had worked together at the same place, and that's how we got to know each other. And so we started going out, and all of a sudden one day I'm walking out of work, and here comes this guy. Hey, are you the one that's with Megan? I was like, who the fuck are you? He's like, I'm her boyfriend. And this guy's all tatted, white power type dude and all that shit, tattered up. He's got his friend with him. I'm like, oh, hi. What's going on, man? Yeah, that's me. And all of a sudden, this other guy comes out of a car. I'm like, oh, now I'm fucked.
Yeah, I can take this one. Not 2 of them.
I could take, yeah. So, I had to deal with that before. So after that point, I started asking girls, got any ex-boyfriends or anything like that in jail?
How many baby daddies?
Because it's more, It's very more common than people think,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
especially in the hood. Especially in the hood.
Especially in the yes. Yeah.
You just never know. If she's got a teardrop tattoo or a 3-dot tattoo, that's a red
Yeah.
flag.
Yeah. And you're always staring down at hands. Okay, what's on the hand?
Yeah,
What's
neck
what's in
tattoos.
what's in the little thumb area? What's under the eye? Okay, we're good. Okay.
She's got the spider web tattoo on her elbow. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, that's the old days. Now everyone has one of those.
Oh, that is true. It's kind of like the nautical star tattoo. It's like the motherfucker doesn't own a boat, never been on even a jet ski. He wants a nautical star tattoo.
Yeah, never seen an ocean, but nautical star.
Yeah, it's like those guys that have the Salt Life stickers in landlocked states.
In Utah.
Yeah, bro, you live in Colorado. Shut the fuck up.
It's the salt life from the Great Salt Lake.
Yeah, how many times did you see that out there?
Oh, it's everywhere out there. It used to be a running joke with me and the guys that lived up in Utah, that the Jeep, spot the Jeep with the Salt Life sticker.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Moab or San Hollow, just count the number of Salt Life stickers you saw out there, and it's like, holy hell, what are these retards doing?
It's like a bro badge or something. I don't know.
It's like an affliction shirt.
Oh my god! How many other MMA shirt companies came out during that time?
It was all these. They all had the same font and everything, just different name.
It was either Old English or a variety Gothic type font or something like that, and it was either like an affliction or poundage or something hype mania or some bullshit. Everyone had something.
Yeah.
And affliction was the only one that was like reputable, and I think it was only because some of the actual MMA guys wore it.
Yeah. Yep. What was the other brand? Oh, jeez. I gotta remember.
Annihilation.
They had a TV show like for a short time. It was like 4 guys that started the company. It was like a TV show that went around with them. Shit, now I gotta look.
I can't think of it. You mentioned that. All I think of is those guys that were like power lifters, and they'd go to churches, then they'd rip telephone books in half and
Tap Out.
Oh my god, yeah. Tap Out was an actual their own league.
Yeah, but they had their own like a TV show.
Was it kind of like Ultimate Fighter?
No, it was like them just like doing stupid shit. They'd go to different gyms and stuff like that, but oh man, it was that guy Mask. He actually died like during that show, and
really
killed some. He died, and it was like a chick with him in the cars. Now I'm reading this, remembering, going, oh shit, yeah, that's right.
On the show, he died, or like
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and they would go through and like sign fighters and watch fighters at the gym, but it was all a bunch of their shenanigans and crap in their bus. And
how long ago was this?
2007 to 2009 ish.
Where was
it? Or 2008. 2008, because Mask died in 2009.
I don't remember this for some reason, but also I mean, listen, there's a point in my life where I kind of blanked out from drinking so much, so there's probably a good reason why I don't remember, and there's a reason why I don't remember a lot of poker games. I won a lot, but I don't remember them very much.
Yeah, I don't win when I drink too much, so I just don't drink at a poker table.
Well, I think you're a lot looser when you drink, and your decision making is a little bit more
hindered.
Looser.
Yeah, I believe there was a night I went out with my brother, and we played at the Hustler Casino in Gardena,
mm-hmm.
and I was good, up until a point, but we were drinking, and just started making stupid calls and lost all my money.
See, that's why I only play dollar craps, is because I love to play multiple angles. And
Yeah, it all.
sometimes I'll overthink it and I'll make the wrong bet. That would be counterintuitive to my other bets on the table. So that's the only reason why I like dollar craps, is because you can play a lot of the table.
Yeah.
For a long time and cheap. Otherwise, it's like $5 blackjack or some shit.
Yeah, none of that's around anymore.
No.
Vegas, I think $10 or $15 was the minimum. Even in Laughlin, where Laughlin was typically, you can go to have the $1 blackjack or $2 blackjack.
Mm-hmm.
All gone. $10-15 minimum, and most tables are 25 and up.
It's been a while since I've gambled. I had a problem with that too. I had a gambling addiction. I had a drinking addiction. I had a pill addiction, but that was induced from a back injury. I was popping a lot of Vicodin that were prescriptions, and those were fun, especially with beer.
With alcohol, especially with alcohol. Vicodin here, Vicodin alcohol here.
And then they gave me Percocet when the Vicodin wasn't working, but what they don't remember was they gave me like a prescription for 100 Vicodin. So I had a whole bunch of them.
And then Percocet on top of it.
And Percocet on top. So it was just a very nice cocktail.
With cocktails.
With cocktails. Problem was, it would make you constipated as a motherfucker. But you felt great. That's all that matters, right?
I'll shit later.
I'll shit later.
I guess you didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
It was a time in my life I didn't give a shit.
And that was the only time. Other than that, I'm very regular. The only thing that makes me more looser is Taco Bell. Would you rather have Taco Bell or Del Taco?
Del Taco any day of the year.
Yes. Yep. For people that don't know, Del Taco, there's some out in Colorado, and I think that's as far east as it goes. But it's like a Taco Bell, but better. It's like a taco. It's almost like a Taco John's, actually.
I never had a Taco John's.
Never had Taco John's?
I had Papa John's.
No, Taco John's is it's a gringo franchise, obviously, and it's very much like Del Taco. They have the crinkle cut fries, the same kind of tacos, pretty much the same menu.
Yeah, okay, just Carl's Jr. Hardee's type of thing.
Yeah, I think it is,
but no affiliation.
No affiliation.
Now I have to go search out a Taco John's now. All right, where do I find one?
Problem is, we used to take $20 and go to Taco Bell and feed the entire crew or the entire family for $20. And now $20.
No.
One person, 2 person max.
No. That's like that 3 a.m. and you're freaking high as fuck. And you go to Taco Bell, that's like 3 things. What was it? So,
well, even the 10 taco party pack is like $20 now.
Yeah. So both my kids work at Taco Bell.
Oh, you're lucky.
And my daughter's boyfriend. So I have three humans that are frequently in this house that work at Taco Bell. And
that's amazing.
And I don't eat it ever. So
what?
2 weeks ago, I don't know. It was one night I was here and I was just like, we went somewhere and we had an early dinner and it was like 9:00 and I was starving and the kids were like, we're coming back from Taco Bell. I'm like, bring me a burrito supreme.
Dude, I would be crushing Doritos Locos tacos. Those are my favorite.
They brought it home. I was like, this is terrible. How did I even think I wanted this? And then I think they brought me the Enchilito came back and they brought me an Enchilito. and I guess they made a special one. I don't know if they deviated from the recipe or what they
Mhm.
did, but they made just this giant burrito and then put sauce on it and cheese, but it wasn't the same. I don't know if the ratios were off. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't good. I was like,
Do you remember the taco burger they had a long time ago?
no.
It was literally bun, your hamburger bun, and whatever they have in the taco, which is the lettuce, the cheese, tomato, and the loose meat. That was in between the bun. That was it.
Never had that. But in my defense, I've never really been a huge Taco Bell guy. When I was younger, I'd have Taco Bell, and then I didn't have it from probably like age like 13 to maybe 19. And
Wow.
then and then that's when I moved in with roommates, and they had one not too far, and they would go like, oh, 29-cent tacos, 29, 39, 59, 79
Mm-hmm.
back then, and we'd
Yeah.
go with, and we'd come back with a giant bag of tacos for
Yeah.
everyone for $20.
For sure.
Now I think she said that the chalupa is like $6.79.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy. I was gonna order DoorDash.
Taco Bell.
I was gonna order Okay, yeah. I was all fucked up, right? And I didn't want to drive anywhere.
Well,
So I was gonna order DoorDash, and I was like, I want Taco Bell. Fuck this. This is a great night. I want Taco Bell. So as I do when I'm all fucked up, I was like, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, I want that. And then of course the wife was like, you're ordering Taco Bell? I'm like, yeah. She's like, give me a couple of things. By the time I'm done ordering, I was like, with delivery, it was almost $60. I was like, you know what? I'm not that fucked up after all.
I just sobered up.
I just sobered up. I don't need to spend $60.
$60 Taco Bell? No. That's not happening. Yeah,
So-
yeah. It's funny how your taste changed when you own a house.
Well, not only that, but the mental block was the same order would have been $20 back in the day.
Mhm.
And it's been that long actually since I've really had, feasted on Taco Bell like I used to when I was all fucked up and I needed to coat my stomach with some junk. So it was just one of those things where I was like, you know what, man, I can't do this. I used to pay this much for Taco Bell. This is crazy. Even the cheeseburgers at McDonald's, they
Yeah.
used to be 29 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're $1.25, something like that.
Yeah, but yeah. Or I remember it was 2 for $1
Mm-hmm.
for just the base cheeseburger. Then you could do the double cheeseburger for 79 or 89 cents. It used to be you can go in there and grab a bag of food, and hey, it wasn't the greatest, but I could eat for $3.
Yeah. My brother used to work at McDonald's for a little bit. And one day he calls me and he's like, hey, come through. I'm working the drive-through. I was like, oh, fuck yes. So I go and I get to the drive-through and I hear my brother, welcome to McDonald's. How can I help you? And I just start fucking laughing, right? He's just like, pull through, motherfucker. So I pull through and he just hands me a humongous fucking bag full of cheeseburgers and hamburgers. There must have been 50 of them in there.
Did you get a McDLT?
No, I remember those. Those were actually pretty good. Yeah, I don't know why they were so good. The fake bacon they used, I think.
Because the hot side was hot and the cold side was cold.
Hey,
That's why they were so good.
Didn't Grimace just celebrate his birthday or some shit? They had that.
I saw something
that
like
purple shake.
Some purple shake that people were getting like gross,
They're getting sick on, right?
sick and shitting out. Yeah.
I can't even have rainbow sherbet ice cream and not have discolored shit. People are having purple shakes.
Yeah.
And how did they have the goal to say we're going to have purple shakes? That insinuates that their ice cream machine is working.
Well, no, shake machine is different than the ice cream machine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They use soft serve.
They use soft serve, so it comes into the ice cream machine, and the shake machine is a little different.
Bastards.
Yeah, it's a scam.
There's a website that will tell you which McDonald's has a working ice cream machine.
None of them. At any time, none of them.
I wonder why that is. I heard one theory that the machines are so old, the parts to repair them are no longer being made, so they have to remanufacture the parts, and the maintenance for them is incredibly annoying.
Well, it's a franchise. Why can't McDonald's just repop 1,000 of these pieces and send them to every location?
Who
I mean,
knows? Well, then again,
part of your franchise fee.
every franchise is independently owned, so maybe it could be that management is just cheap as fuck and doesn't want to fork out that money,
Yeah, but
unless
I
there's a
would.
franchise agreement that it has to be, whatever.
You can't sell ice cream on these many days a year. That's the agreement. Yeah, no,
Imagine
we,
that.
we have to keep our reputation, or maybe it's one of those lost leaders where okay, we're already in a loss. Shut down the ice cream machine so we're not losing anymore.
Hmm.
I don't know. Who
Is
knows?
that why sometimes we get like half of a basket of large fries? It's like, dude, what happened to your other scoop?
Well, now do you look at when you go in there? They have like fries imprinted on the inside of the container,
Yeah.
so it looks like it's more full than it is. It's
Mhm.
like, wait a minute, this is not full. This is just the picture.
I don't know why we're talking about this. I'm on a diet. I should not be. I should not be thinking about Shakey's, McDonald's, and Taco Bell.
As long as you're talking about it, you don't do anything about it. You talk about McDonald's while you're eating cauliflower. Oh
No,
yeah, McDonald's fries.
I've actually been doing pretty good. I've lost some weight already since we've last talked about me losing weight.
Good.
Just eating different. One thing I need to kick. I really need to stop drinking orange juice. I love orange juice.
Me too. I went to see my doctor for my annual visit recently, and he's like, "Well, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I get up and I do this and have more juice." He's like, "You're not 3. You don't need juice. You don't need juice. You're not 3." I'm like, oh,
you need to stop seeing that fucking doctor. That's too much negativity.
Well, he's a good doctor because he does drink beer, so he allows me to drink beer. He's okay with it. So I'm like, okay, I gotta keep this one around.
Yeah, but orange juice. That's every morning I have a glass.
Yeah, and that's could be a killer. That's a hard one to kick.
Yeah, but I mean,
I had to go cold turkey.
I can do it though because I used to drink soda all the time, all the fucking time with every meal, soda. Or if I had a work break or something like that, I grab a soda.
Like sugar soda, like real Coke.
Yeah, like Coke or Sprite, orange Fanta, something like that.
It's just full sugar.
Yeah. And when I went on my first diet, when I lost 100 pounds, I kicked soda completely to the curb, like overnight. Just switched to water. Everything was water, and ever since then, literally, that's all I drink is just water and orange juice. So I know I can do it. It's just I need to finish this last gallon. I'm not wasting fucking $5.
I had to finish the last 3 gallons I have in the fridge.
But yeah, I started adding spinach to my eggs in the morning.
I love spinach. I love vegetables, but I cannot put vegetables in my eggs.
I think that might be the only way I can eat vegetables because I hate vegetables.
Oh,
my wife was making fun of me the other day. She's like, "You're like a fucking kid. You have to hide your shit in eggs and other food. It's like a dog taking a pill. You have to hide it in peanut
cheese.
butter.
Here's the cheese. Here's the cheese.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah. I didn't disagree with her, but it's just the way it is. I think I blame it on COVID. That's what I'm doing.
COVID sounds legit.
COVID, like the tick thing, where if you get bit by a tick, you get sick from red meat.
The what?
You never that happened to Diesel. He got bit by a tick, and that changed his internal workings and mechanisms and oblongata doodles, whatever it might be. Something in him changed where he started getting violently sick from eating red meat. So he can't have a cheeseburger if you wanted to. And this is actual thing. Like, I checked it out because I thought it was full of shit.
Never heard of this.
Yeah.
He never
I
told
thought
me
it was
this.
full of shit. I was like, no. And he's like, yeah, look it up. And I'm like, I'm doing it
Well, it's
right
diesel.
now.
It's diesel. So I don't know how much I believe that story.
Yeah, but yeah, it checked out for sure. So maybe I
Weird.
got some sort of weird mosquito bite that said, hey, you don't like vegetables anymore. I don't know. That's my.
Eh,
It's certain
yeah.
vegetables actually, because I still like broccoli. I still like carrots. I like spinach. I like salad. Um, I can deal with asparagus. I can. You got to hide the broccoli in something for me. I'm not the broccoli. What's the other one? What's the one I'm thinking of? Brussels sprouts.
Brussels. Oh, see, I love Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, you got to really dress those up for me. They're so
Oh,
bland.
no.
I don't like cauliflower.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
see, I all that. I peas and beans, like green beans and string beans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. But squashes, cauliflower, broccoli. Um, I liked asparagus, and I think I do like asparagus. I think I just got burnt out of it. It's one of those things that we'd have it like 2-3 times a week,
Mm-hmm.
and I just like I can't handle asparagus at all. If it's in something, and I'll eat it, but I won't go buy asparagus and cook asparagus.
So I'm trying to force myself to eat a lot of stuff better. So what I did was I started ordering Home Chef, and every meal has the proper, you know, meal portions and vegetables and that whole sort of thing, right?
Mhm.
So you can dial it in to exclude carbs. You can dial it in to make sure it's a low carb or low fat meal, that sort of thing. So I started doing that. Um, it helps a little bit, but I still can't get over some of the vegetables. Like for example, cauliflower. I just cannot stand it. It has like this weird styrofoam taste to me.
Even raw?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I even tried to dip it in some ranch or whatever, and it was just like, whew.
Have you tried like the rice cauliflower?
Yeah. My wife has
Put
some of that.
put it in a pan with a little sesame oil and olive oil,
Mhm.
sesame oil and soy sauce, and just fry it almost like a fried rice.
Mm-hmm.
Little bit of teriyaki chicken with it.
Yeah.
It's not
I
like
got to
you're
figure
eating
something out.
rice.
I got to figure something out because I love rice, and kicking rice is going to be hard also.
Yeah, and brown rice is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot do brown rice.
And I love bagels. I love bagels, especially like a good bagels breakfast sandwich. This
Yeah.
diet's going to suck. It's all right. I've done it before, so I can do it again.
I can do it. You can do it.
So, okay. So the good thing is, I thought I weighed about 260, 265. And I finally stepped on the scale, and I am only 242. So that means I've only gained 37 pounds since
Your low before.
Yeah.
Your previous low.
Yeah. Because even through high school, I was pretty built. I was always very athletic. I was in my going into my freshman year. I think I was 5'10", 5'9", 275 ish. And then that year, I put on another 15 pounds of muscle from just weight training for football. So I was about 200 pounds, and then I shot up another 1.5 inches. And by the end of my freshman year, I was 5'11", 200. And so the football coach was like, "You're our quarterback. We're running the option." So that's what I did. But I also love baseball too. So played tons of baseball.
Yeah, that was my thing. Baseball. Never really did the football. I was always on the baseball field somewhere, either on a league team or in the street with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
That was just it. It was just baseball all the time.
Well, as kids, growing up where we did, organized sports cost a lot of money for our parents. So we always played in the field with our friends. Luckily, my dad, he sacrificed quite a lot for me, and he put me in two different leagues, winter and summer leagues. It financially, and it did nothing for him. I think all it did was give him joy watching me play.
Yeah.
So knowing that he sacrificed a bit, I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we kind of grew up the same way, but I always played. My sister played. My brother, my little sister played after that when I was. I mean, there's a 16-year gap between me and my sister, so I grew up in a different household than they did
Hmm.
because I was already long gone by the time they were like 4 or 5, getting to the baseball age. I was already out of the house and doing my own thing, so they played, and just the way it was.
Yeah. Speaking
And
of
my
sports, NFL starts really soon.
yeah, I don't pay attention at all.
Are you serious? I thought you did.
No, I do not watch any professional sports
No, that's
except
not true.
except for Supercross.
No, that's not true because we've talked baseball many, many times about the
I
Diamondbacks.
I stopped watching about 3 years ago.
Did you
They,
really?
yeah, they got woke and I went away.
What happened? When was this?
I
Like, what did they
They
do?
just started doing stupid shit and just I was out.
Mm,
I was out. I was a season ticket holder. I had everything there. We'd go to games once twice a week. Spend weekends in Phoenix to go to games, and I was married to the baseball field for a long time, and they just started doing stupid shit, and I was just like, yeah, I don't support this, and I don't want to be part of this, and I'm out. So I haven't watched baseball for 3 years. I haven't watched football regularly for probably 10 years.
wow.
I will watch hockey, but I don't really watch hockey. But the only real like professional sport I watch is Supercross.
Hmm. That's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah, just done.
I think more corporations and big business like sports need to realize that the consumer has more power than they think. I mean, and it's obvious with what happened with Bud Light, with Target, and look at what's happening with Disney.
Yeah,
It's our choice to spend our hard-earned money on these things that are optional,
yeah,
and they somehow think that it's a necessity for us, and it's not.
yeah. I For a long time for me, I'm not gaga over celebrities, whatever, but the fact that these celebrities now believe that they're the voice of reason and they're going to push some whatever. I don't care what side you're on. If you're pushing that, I'm out. Just I don't care. I'll never pay attention to what you're saying, or I'm not going to buy something because you say it.
Yeah. And
It's
that's one
just
reason why I stopped watching NBA is because it got really woke. I mean, I think that's probably the sport that got the most woke, and it was this huge turnoff. And it didn't help that Kobe Bryant retired because he was my favorite basketball player. So after he died, that was kind of when everything was going in that phase with the wokeness for them. So it was kind of coinciding that I thought in my head, well, my favorite basketball player retired and now he's dead. I have no reason to watch the sport if they're going to be going in this direction, taking a knee and plastering BLM shit all over the place, and it comes down to just shut up and dribble. They don't like hearing it, but just shut the fuck up and dribble.
yeah. Play a game. You're getting paid to play a game. I don't want to hear your idea on religion or sex or marriage or war or whatever. I don't really care. Just play.
Yeah, I mean, you have your opinion, but don't proselytize like you're doing.
Right. I'm just out.
Once you become an activist, it's like you said, you're out. I'm out too.
I lose all interest in anything you do at that point.
Now, I will say there is a difference between what happened in the 60s to the wokeness happening today. Because they actually had a fight, a reason for the fight. And that fight was not wokeness that was just for rights, and those people speaking up for those rights actually got what they needed because that's what they needed at the time.
Yeah,
That was a
yeah.
right for these people.
The change happened, and the change has been going, and now we're forced to have to make a decision that or forced to like it or be canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just, yeah, I don't care. I don't care. And like I said, it's on both ends of the spectrum. It's not one or the other. It's just the way it is, and it's choose a side.
It's been happening for a while.
Yeah.
It happened twice to me. They tried it twice with me. I don't know if you know about this or not, but when I was really heavy with sponsorships with Craw 5280, there was a lady that just did not like me. We got into an argument, and she made a fake Facebook account, and she went to 2 or 3 of my different sponsors and made up a bunch of lies. And luckily these sponsors knew enough to know that that's not me and I would not do such things. So they reached out to me and said, hey, this is what's happening. Just so you know, we know this is false. We know this is a fake account. Just so you know, this is happening. They're trying to shut you out and shut you down. That happened twice.
Same lady.
First time was the only that one person. They made a second account. So yeah, in other words, same lady. And then with her second account, she started joining more groups and started reaching out to Facebook groups and slandering me.
We're gonna talk about this off air. I didn't know this story.
Yeah.
Is this person still around, or was it someone that you knew personally, or someone from the Jeep community?
Someone from the Jeep community.
Really?
And that's the thing about the Jeep community. That's such a fucking phony title, Jeep community. It's so selective.
Yeah.
There's so much dogma within the Jeep community that it's sect. You have factions.
Yeah.
And then once you do something that someone doesn't like, guess what they're doing? They're making a fake account, or they're using their real account and they're just screenshotting bullshit into other groups and they're just like giving one side of the story about something that's complete nonsense. And then it causes people to take a side.
Yeah.
Even if they don't want to, it causes people to have an opinion. I mean, we both have the same friend that had a business and wasn't very fortunate, and that Jeep community turned on this person in that business ultra quick. And if the Jeep community wants to brag about togetherness and unity, I have not seen it.
Yeah.
They might do charity events and that sort of thing, but they're doing it for themselves. There's a bunch of narcissists that are doing these things for themselves. They're not really doing it for the benefit of the charity, or they're not doing it for the benefit of the true sense of Jeep community-ism.
Yeah, it's Jeep cliques, and it's all it is. It's a bunch of cliques that come together to get called the community. And if you don't do what you need to do to get in that clique, then you're out, and they're against you. Now you're fighting.
Yeah. And what I come to realize is I'm fighting against essentially a ghost and their army. And what's the point?
There is none. It's you can try to be Switzerland all you want, and I did that for 8.5 years. I was always Switzerland. I always had to play. I always had to be in the central area. And anytime I stepped out of the line, I had to apologize. And funny thing is, I had a Facebook memory come up a couple days ago. About 5 years ago, one of the groups, and I don't remember who it was, but I had made a comment to one of my friends about how their Jeep wasn't real. I was just giving them shit about something that they were building. Someone took it personal because apparently they were building something similar, and they called our tech. They emailed our tech. they posted a poor review on Artec about me, and I screenshot it and I posted it. I'm like,
Oh my
here.
god.
I'm like, yeah. I guess you can't do anything right. You can't joke with your friends. You can't do anything. And it popped up. I'm like, that was like the one of those ones where I'm like, I had to like, I didn't apologize. I
Hmm.
owned it and said it. Hey, I had screenshots of what it was, and I was like, yeah, no, I was playing with my friends. I mean, I want to take this out of proportion. You want to make it about you, then make it about you. This was 100% not about you. That was about me and a friend.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't have sponsors right now because I was sick and tired of walking on fucking eggshells. I'm not joking you. I was sick and tired of walking on eggshells because dare I say the wrong fucking thing, I get a message from that sponsor or affiliated with that sponsor or someone saying you need to take that post down.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just it
It's
felt shitty. It felt like
lost your voice.
yeah, it really
You know,
did.
you lose your voice, lose your personality. It makes you become sometimes a robot.
Yep.
And luckily, we're in an industry where you can kind of toe the line a little more, where it's not so bad. But as soon as the wrong person hears it and wants to start yapping about it, then that's when the problems start.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, most of this army that is in outrage for whatever it might be are not real wheelers. These are
Well, they never are.
these are the come by night, fly by night type people that are in a 2-year lease of their Jeep, and they want to be in the scene for that long, and they want to be in all the groups. They want to be known as this guy with all the ducks in the fucking windshield. They want to be known as the guy that has the YouTube channel that talks about installing a winch line or something stupid that we don't fucking care about because there's 100 other videos like that.
Sticker on the hood with the name of the Jeep.
Yeah, I mean it's come down to we're missing Pirate 4x4.
Oh
Pirate
yeah,
4x4 was the regulator. It set a precedent for what the Jeep community actually was, or the off-road community, because Pirate 4x4, let's face it, was not just Jeeps.
it was
So
everything. It was
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
I mean, it was from almost daily drivers and tow rigs all the way down to full hardcore buggies and racers. That's kind of where Ultra 4 started. I mean, you got
hmm
to figure when Lance and Camo were back then, running that, it was all about buggies and that type of stuff.
yeah. Toyotas,
And then,
Suzuki's,
yeah,
Broncos.
everything. There was a scout section
Yeah,
or an international section that I used to hang out in. But there was everything. I mean, you kind of had the full gamut of it, everything and everywhere. And if you got out of line, people would just talk the shit to you and try
yeah,
to come back next Tuesday.
yeah. You get ratioed basically. It's not. We didn't know what it was called back then, but now we know it's called ratioed. And we see it on Facebook, we see it on Twitter now. The people thinking their opinion or their whatever it might be is the law, and then next thing you know, people are just like, "Hey, dude, no, you're fucking wrong."
Yeah, yeah, get away. And as funny as that, I have gotten out of nearly every Jeep group that I was in. I think I'm only in the 1-ton groups, and I don't even know why anymore. They stay more technical. It's less of the
Yeah.
shit talking. It's less of the dumb shit. But now they got the RAM. I've been joining these RAM forums, and I think I joined like 6 or 7 RAM forums, and then now I'm into one, and it just gets dumber and dumber every day. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like I'd really like to hear some of the stuff that they have, but how can I put a filter so I don't have to hear or see
The same question over and over again.
what is this little black dot on my windshield behind the mirror? I'm like,
No, my favorite one is: does anyone else have the same noise behind their seat? It's like, motherfucker, what's the noise?
Yeah. What is this noise? Yeah. Can you offer up a little less information for us to decipher?
But yeah, I feel like I got out of every single off-road and Jeep group. I'm not in one. I think the only Facebook groups I'm in now are gun associated, and my local neighborhood, and maybe a cooking one because I love to cook. So I think that's it. If I'm in
Yeah.
if I'm in any other off-road ones, it's because a friend runs it. Like uh, Flex Rocks and Rollovers, I'm in that one still. Seventh Law Society with Angel, I'm in that one still, just because those are my
Mhm.
buds and they run it really well. It's not
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
shit show.
It's not that shit. Yeah. So it's just like any of these run of the mill groups. I just need to be out of.
Mhm.
I need to exit a little faster
Yeah,
before I get more bitter about them.
and that was the thing. I think that he stumbled right on it. I was getting bitter.
Huh? So
It was
now my thing is I just pirate pour approach. Everything. It's like read a fucking manual. Like
yeah. Do
uh
you think that was the actual catalyst to how we are to how we're where we are now? Is the loss of Pirate 4x4?
to the well, it's the censoring. It's the community standards now. Because you can't be mean to somebody. You can't tell somebody that they're a fucking idiot.
So that's compounded.
So, and that's even more. I mean, it's more. I mean, you're 4 years old. You're at your grandmother's house and you're like playing with something. And what does your grandma do? Smacking your head. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Told you not to be stupid.
hey, little dipshit, don't fucking do that. So that's what you grew up with. That's how you used to teach these kids. Now it's, oh, don't do that, little Johnny. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you shouldn't do that. You're gonna hurt yourself. Here, let's go do something else instead. No, don't be a little dipshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's what it is. It's just
We've lost control of the ship.
dogs do it. You get a mother and her litter of puppies. One of the dogs has had a thing. She's over there yapping at it. She'll yap at it. She'll give a little nibble. She'll give it the little lashing that it needs to teach it the right direction. And now we're told that, oh, you can't beat your kids. It's not beating your kids. Beating your kids is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
And 100% you shouldn't beat your kids. But should your kid get a reactive correction to something to make them think about it and believe it? You should, because all of the shit that's happened over the last 30 years when you had to stop spanking your kids or correcting your kids or it started with the fucking kid on the leash. I didn't need a leash because you know why? Bah! Stay here.
There was a term, and it still might get used. I think it was called Dragon Mother. Do you remember this term?
Dragon? No.
I think that's what it was called. But it was I think they switched the term to helicopter mom now.
Oh yeah, just the one that's yeah.
And it was described as a mother that was full of discipline, full of correction, full of ire if the kid was not performing up to her standards. I think that's gone for the most part. I think for the most part, parents are okay with their kids just getting by. That's all I seem to see now.
Well, because they've made it impossible for you to discipline your kid, and that's what it is. I mean, you're not supposed to talk to them. You're not supposed to. Even now, verbal correction is now abuse.
Well, even now, if you don't affirm your child's gender identity, that's abuse.
That's a whole different story.
but the point is, they're redefining what is abuse.
Oh, yeah.
And most of this so-called abuse is discipline. It's what we got as kids, it's what our parents got as kids, and it's what our grandparents got as kids. In fact, our
Mm.
grandparents probably got it much worse than what we got.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and progressively, yeah, they had to get to the point where they were stopping the child abuse.
Mm-hmm.
But a verbal correction, a spank, a twist of the ear, it's not really abuse. Marks and whatever, constant, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're correcting a bad behavior, you're saving your child. Just like you would if you got a puppy and you have to train your puppy.
Yep.
I get a shock collar for my dog. And you know how that's going to go over. But I find that she had to be shocked once when I first got it. And after that, it has a beep and a vibrate. And she gets the beep first and then a vibrate. And she learned. We went camping a couple months ago and she took off. She got the beep, she got the vibrate, and then she got a quick shock. And she stopped, turned back around, and came back and sat down next to me. So it's not that she had to be abused for it. She had to understand the correction. She's still a puppy. I mean, she just turned a year old, so she has puppy brain, just like kids have kid brains.
Mm-hmm.
They want to go explore and see, and their mind goes over here, and you want them over here. So
Right.
there's cars and traffic and whatever else is over there that you're trying to stop them to go from. So it's that. We have desert toads here, and this is the only time that she's had to get shocked by the collar on purpose. And I had to think really hard and long about whether I was going to do this or not, but I had to go and do it because we had another dog that would go after the toads and she'd get sick. We believe she actually could have died from one of the desert toads.
Mm-hmm.
So they go out there and they put it in their mouth, and basically it's poison on their tongue.
Right.
And it makes them high. On a bigger dog, it makes them high. Smaller dogs, it could instantly kill them. But it's still dangerous if you don't know what's happening on a bigger dog and she keeps on, or she consumes a toad, it could kill her. So we started having some rain. I go out in the back porch and there's one in my pool. I go to pull it out, and all of a sudden I see there's another one on the porch. I'm like, ah, shit. We had to make the decision now. So follow the instructions, put the collar on there. I trapped both of these toads, put them in containers, put them out with her. She went over and had nose to nose with the toad, and she got zapped for 1.5 seconds on a higher level. She only ever got like the lowest level, and actually had to put it to, I think it goes from 0 to 100. She's only ever having a 4. She actually got a 16. Still not 100%. Just enough. And she, nose to nose, she got zapped. She backed away. She took off back behind me because the training is she feels the zap is coming because of the toad.
Yeah.
So comes back behind me, and then she goes towards the toad again, and then she gets a second little shocker as she comes nose to nose to it. The third time, she won't even go nose to nose with it. And then she's behind me. As I walk up to it, she's behind me. And it was the weirdest thing ever. It was like, that was strange. So I picked it up and I let it out there, and then she went in the house. And then she wanted to go in the house. She's like scratching the door to go in the house. So I go in her house, I come outside, I put the toads back up, and then we let them sit there for a little bit. She would go to the door and look and just kind of like leer out the door, like very reluctantly. And then finally I was like, come on, let's go out and see what happens again. So I let the toads out, and she came to the door, and reluctantly she came to the door. I was like, come on. I had to get a leash to bring her outside because she wouldn't come outside.
Mm-hmm. And
she wouldn't go anywhere near where the toads were. So this is supposed to be the only time that that's ever needed for this training. It's one time. They say it's a 15-second training that will save their life forever. So it's a discipline thing, and
Yeah.
it teaches them. It's a correction. It's engineered to save her life, and like I said, I had to think about it because I knew it was going to put her under stress. It was going to be something that could hurt her, and I didn't want to do that.
I actually
But
have I actually have my dog right now at a 2-week boarding class because
really,
when we got him about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. I can't remember now, but it was 2018, tail end of 2018 actually, and winter, so we couldn't really socialize him. You know, it was cold, not a good time to socialize a dog, for us anyways, because it was so cold. So 2019 comes and COVID happens, and of course everything's shut down. So our sweet little dog was never socialized. So now every time it's around another person that's, you know, a stranger or another dog, the thing, you know, starts barking and nipping and goes crazy. So um, other than that, the training on him is phenomenal. Like, he sits, he comes, he lays down, he, you know, listens really well. But it's just this one aggression that we want him to kick. So he's been there for since Sunday actually, and we get daily updates. And now I got a video today that he's hanging out with like 4 other dogs,
just
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 from
learning
correction.
to hanging out. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, and it's the training. It's the same thing you would do with a dog. You have to do with your children.
hmm,
I mean, it's but it's everything. It's not just discipline. It's school. It's activities. It's everything. They just you're there to teach them.
setting moral standards. I think that's also a big thing that's missing from so many families is they're not setting that moral compass in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean it's everything. Every piece of their life financially, like teaching them how to. I never learned how not to have debt or how to manage debt or how to not have debt. And my kids, my oldest, she needed a car and she got saved her money, and we helped her and got her a loan, and she pays it every month now. And funny thing is, the guy at the car dealership's like, here's what you're gonna do with it. Here's what's gonna be the best thing you can do for her. Just add both your kids right now to your credit cards. They don't have to have a credit card. They'll send you one in their name. Throw it in your safe. Throw it wherever you want to. Shred it, whatever you want. But every month that you pay, your kid is now preparing themselves for the future, and you're preparing your kids for the future.
Yeah.
And like both my kids are going to end up with a positive credit score to be ready to buy a house or buy a car and not pay a 30% interest rate
Yeah. It's funny you say that
because
because I
they're
was
first
actually
time
thinking about,
buyers.
yeah, you mentioned that, and it's weird because I was thinking about doing that for my niece. She's gonna be in high school next year. And I know she's going to go to college because she's very bright. She gets great grades, very high grades, and she's an athlete. She's a cheerleader and very good cheerleaders. Like she's national championships and all that stuff. So she's been recruited by different high schools because she's that good. So I know she's going to get a scholarship somewhere because she's a book nerd. She's deep in her books. I know she's going to get a scholarship, but that's always not enough, obviously, as you know, with the parent. So I want her to have a good credit system already in place, so when she gets there, that she's not hounded by these guys at the dorms. Hey, you sign up for our credit card at
Yeah,
27%.
30% interest rate, 29.99% interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't need that. And so both the girls on, I think I put them on like 4 or 5 cards. We don't use 4 of them,
Mm-hmm.
but occasionally I'll put something on it. So we just do this rotation. We're just so they're used every so often and then just paid off. So they never go out. They always get paid. They're always paid on time. There's always some sort of activity on them. And last 6 months, they both actually have a card now, their card that they get to carry with them. That's their emergency. And they're just learning that they can have it without having to spend it. It's there if you need it. It's not something that you're going to go use every day.
Do you remember a long time ago, Joe Torre, comedian?
Mm-hmm.
He used to have a bit about this new credit card that he wanted to get. It was called the Emergency credit card. And so he's going on about signing up for the Emergency credit card. And people are like, I've never heard of the Emergency credit card. But yeah, it's the Emergency credit card. It was a great bit. I didn't do it any justice just now.
But yeah, it's that thing, and they're both. I haven't pulled scores, but I know that in the mail, both of them get offers for. Well, my youngest one doesn't yet because she's not 18, but the older one, she gets like credit card offers. I'm looking, going, why didn't I get an offer like this when I was her age? Like, what the fuck? But it's good. But rip it up and throw it in the freaking trash.
I think I established my credit with a beeper. It was either a beeper or a cell phone. I can't remember, but I know it was an electronic device. It was probably a cell phone.
So mine was a TV at Circuit City.
Oh wow! I used to have a Circuit City card.
That was like my first poor judgment.
Remember that commercial with that kid? He was walking down the street all sad with the newspaper clipping and his headphones and his Walkman. And they're following him down the street, and it's like a long ass walk. And he gets to the store, and he walks into the Circuit City, and he hands him his newspaper clipping, and he puts this little tape deck on the thing. And he says, "Yesterday I bought this, and today I saw this." And he's pointing at the ad at the same cassette player for $10 cheaper than what he bought it for. They're like, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll pay you the difference." Do you remember that one? I don't know why that commercial stuck out in my head.
I don't remember that now.
There's stupid commercials that always stuck out in my head, like Life cereal. Mikey likes it.
Mikey likes it. No, that's what I remember.
Or the Kool-Aid Man. Always busting
through the wall.
Yeah. And then there was an old commercial from the 80s. It was a toy. It was called Balzac.
Balzac. I don't know this one.
Ballzack or some shit like that. It was the most hilarious fucking thing. But it was like almost like a pogo stick type thing. But you sit on it, and it was a ball. And you bounce on it.
Turn up the balloon ball. Like a pogo ball.
Yeah. And they called it the Balzac. So, of course, as kids, we're like, hey, let's go get a ball sack. Fucking kids and making up. You know what's funny is if I had a boy, and I'm glad I don't have kids, I'm just going to say that.
Oh. Oops. All right, hold on a second. I just go.
What is it? Is it the commercial?
Yeah.
I don't hear anything.
I don't think I remember that. Jeez.
How do you not remember that? That's so comical.
It's probably the 90s. The 90s was my bad era.
What is there a date on that commercial, like when it was made or anything?
Oh, let's see.
I'm going to say late 80s.
I just closed it. 1993 Balzac commercial. Yeah, so you had your bad times a little later than I did.
I was already in high school by then.
I was already in high school when I had my bad time. So I graduated in 86. So after 86 was when my bad time started.
Speaking of bad times, let's get to good times. Before I forget, I want to know about this trip you got coming up.
Yeah, so next week on Tuesday, we're gonna go out to Fisherman's Landing out in San Diego, and go on a 2-day fishing trip. on the Pacific Queen with Hero Off Road, and we're bringing. I believe our count is 18 right now. I had a couple drop off, and they're trying to fill last minute spots, but I don't know how that's going to go a week out. So we'll figure out when we get there. But the plan was to take 20 veterans or active duty service members on an adventure. A lot more than just the off road side. Ray Carter, who is my co-partner right now with Hero, him and I went tuna fishing last year on a charter with a bunch of his family and friends. I got invited for that, and I hadn't been fishing in a long time, and I just started getting into freshwater fishing. So I was like, I'm in. So I went in and fell in love with fishing again, saltwater fishing. So did that last year. This year came around again. I just did it. I just went another trip in June with the same group, different people, but same kind of overall charter group. And I just caught my first bluefin tuna. Wasn't a big one, but I got a bluefin tuna this trip. Nice. I didn't catch anything last year. Caught one this year, and I have the bug. So before we went, or after we went last year, Ray was like, "Hey, what do you think about taking a group of people and doing it for Hero?" And I was like, I don't know, let me check the bylaws. So pull the bylaws, and I'm looking at it going, it doesn't say we can't go fishing. It just says off-road adventures. The ocean isn't on a road, so that's off-road, right? So we went through everything and realized that it wasn't going against anything. And the nice thing is that typically when we put people in the race car, you go one at a time. It is quite expensive to put one person in a race car.
Right.
But for 3 times the cost of what it takes to put, or 4 times the cost of what it takes to put one person in a race car, we can bring 20 people out for a 2-day adventure fishing.
Nice.
It made sense. So we went through and we put it all together. We got the boat secured, put the deposit on the boat, started getting applications, going through applications, getting people to come in. So part of what we want to do is have some sponsors come on to kind of intermingle and kind of help and go out and see and have fun with this. So we ended up going out to grab a couple of sponsors. So Ryan Liggett's going to come out with the Beadlock Marketplace.
Sweet.
Jeremy Purick from Rock Crawler donated to a spot, but he's not coming out. So he's like, just give it away. So we open up to 21. So now we're missing 3. So I got to try to fill those other 3. But if not, we have gear and stuff that needs to be taken care of. So Doug Langford from Outlaw Road's going to be out. He donated $1,000. He's going to come fly out and go fish with us. We have a gentleman that was out at the Patriot Crawl at EJS with Tony from Genride, and he's owner or general manager at the Mercedes-Benz dealership in Newport Beach. Mm-hmm. He has one of his mechanics who's a veteran that he's put the $1,000 for him to go. So that's another cool sponsor spot. Yeah, so it's really cool. So we have a couple of sponsors that are the local guys in San Diego that are from some of the fishing companies. Mm-hmm. So I think we have a hook or a rod manufacturer that's paid to come on, and they're going to come on and help and kind of be there. It should be a great trip. They get to come out, they go on the boat. We pay for the boat, pay for the meals, pay for any of their rental gear that they might need. So it's going to cost them very minimal to go on this trip and be able to go for a 2-day trip. They'll have their bunk and spend 2 days. And I think we'll just have a great time going out there. Watching the fish report, the bluefin tuna are just going off right now. So we're hoping that it sticks around for another week. Boat came in this morning. One of the other boats came in this morning with a 275-pound bluefin.
Wow.
So hoping that we get some of the few 100-pounders over the rail, and it's an exciting thing to get in there, and everyone's in there just like pushing off, handing off rods. You already caught your other whatever, just handing off a rod. So we want to hope we get a limits with some some big fish and come back and just have some cool adventures. So.
And this is the one that Sean's going to be there with you.
So Sean's gonna fly out on Tuesday, so I'll meet him out there, and Ryan and Ray and Doug, and then a bunch of other locals and some guys from all around. I think we have a couple guys from Utah. A lot of them are from California, from an organization down there in California. I'm gonna butcher this. Geez, what is it? There's a local organization. It's all veterans, and they go out and they do kayak fishing. So my buddy Ryan, who actually, oops, where'd we go? I went that way. So I have this little helmet here. My buddy Ryan, he lives down in San Diego, and he helps with this this organization. So he's got a bunch of people that he works with that he sent him over. So they're locals that are guys that love fishing. So we want to get those people that want to be out there, want to fish. Some never have gone. Some have never gone bluefin. Some have gone just regular offshore fish or onshore fishing or pier fishing or stuff like that. So we're going to hopefully get him a new experience that they can go out and do and have fun with, and hopefully come back with a big fish to have a nice story with.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
So
just make sure you regulate Sean's alcohol intake.
Well, the nice thing is on the boat. so we leave. We're supposed to leave Tuesday at 7 p.m. and be back Thursday at 7 p.m. So usually I go a day and a half, and I leave. We leave out at 7 p.m. We come back at like 7 a.m. So usually like get my gear and I start coming home, but being gone for 2 days, I'm not just going to drive home after being on a boat and being up for 2 days, about 2 days straight. So he's like, well, we'll just share a room in San Diego. And I'm like, oh shit. After I hear the freaking naked dick story, oh my God. It's just going to be him and I and a naked dicks running around a hotel room, I think.
Dude, but he also snores. So I don't know if you snore back.
I snore too. I'll snore back at him. We'll be all right.
It's like a dueling banjo thing.
I'll bring my sleep gummy. We'll be okay.
It sounds like it's going to be a fun trip. Another trip that you're going to be on that I'm kind of jealous about, even though I've never been on a boat and never fished. I think that sounds like fun.
Oh, it's the time of your life. If you don't get seasick.
I've been to Catalina Island, and I don't think I was seasick then.
Okay. So when we went in June, there was a bunch of newbies that came out, and it was about 7 or 8 of them that never left the cabin. They came up and ate and went back in their bunk.
Wow.
But we're also in very rough water. The wind kicked up, and we were in some almost 12-foot swells, just up and down. And it doesn't bother me, but some of these guys are just walking around freaking green. It was, you want to laugh, but you really feel sad for them.
Like, throwing up is the worst. It's probably the worst thing that can ever come out of your body, other than shit. But
or a baby.
Oh well, yeah. Especially if you're a guy.
Well, yeah. At least if that happens to your guy, at least you can make some money off of it.
I think the last time I threw up was at Disneyland. It was the same day I got banned from Disneyland.
All right. How did you get banned from Disneyland?
Oh, you act like I'm the only one that's ever been banned from Disneyland. There's hundreds of people probably. But
okay, but how did you get banned from Disneyland?
Kiss FM back in the day. This would have been 1990, 98, 97, 98. Kiss FM had a contest one year for, it wasn't a contest, it was a listener appreciation thing. So they were giving tickets out to callers, and a friend of mine had won some tickets, 4 tickets. So I was one of those people to go with him. It was after work. So we ditch work a little early, buy a bunch of alcohol, jump in his expedition, and we start heading towards Anaheim from Whittier. As soon as we get on the highway, of course, traffic. So we finish about 24 beers in his expedition on the way to Disneyland. We still managed to get there early, and the gates weren't open yet because they had to funnel people out to let people in that were
the
there
day crowd, the day crowd out. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in the parking lot, and we drank a bottle. I don't know why we got a bottle of champagne, but we got a bottle of champagne and we drank that. And then we had a bottle of Bacardi Limon, and we mixed that with some lemonade, and we drank that. And then we took a bottle of Aftershock with us into the park. And we're like, okay, the most popular ride is always Space Mountain. So that was the first ride we were going to go on to make sure that we got on there, and then we could just do whatever. So we got to the line, and it happened to be stupid long. So long that it took us the entire time to drink that bottle of Aftershock. So we drank that whole bottle in line. We actually finished it by the time we got to the actual entrance where, you can start hearing the noises and all that stuff. We get on the ride. Everything's fine. I get off the ride, and I was sick as a fucking dog. Just sick. Like, everything was spinning. And that's when the drunkenness really hit. And I guess it happened to my friend too. He felt the same way. So I look over and I'm like, where did he go? And I see him leaning over this rail just puking. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, if he's puking, that means it's okay to puke too, because I feel like I need to puke. So I start throwing up also. Well, apparently we didn't pay attention, and we started throwing up right next to the entrance for the security personnel. And right when we're throwing up, someone was walking out, and they're like, holy fuck, you guys reek like alcohol. And they kicked us out. So the funny part is, we were so fucked up, inebriated, they had to take us out by wheelchair. So we get to the front gate, and the security asked for my ID. He gets my ID. He leaves, comes back, and he's like, all right, you guys can't come back anymore. And we're just like, whatever, just, we're trying to find a ride home. So about a week later, I get a letter from Disneyland saying that I was banned for improper conduct within the park.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Lifetime ban.
Didn't know they did that.
Yeah.
You hope you still have that letter.
No, God, that was so long ago.
That should be right there in your wall.
Should have had it tattooed on me.
You should have, just on the wall, framed, shellacked and framed, something.
Yeah. I haven't been back since. I don't know if I probably could go. They wouldn't give a fucking shit. They wouldn't know. It's not like I want to
Disney World. Let's go to Disney World.
It's not like I want to go back anyways. I think they raised the prices again to like $250 a ticket.
Yeah, it's nah.
It used to be the happiest place on earth, and now it's the most expensive place on earth.
Yeah. It's like strip club expensive.
Yeah. On a bad
we used to do on the Tuesday.
On Tuesday. When it's a special prime rib night.
Yeah, so yeah, it used to be we could get the Southern California pass for like $100 a year, $150 a year, something ridiculous. You can come all year. Then you couldn't come weekends, and I was fine because I don't want to go to weekends. Yeah. I don't go to weekends anyway. I'm going to come so we'd get off work and just shoot over there, be there by 6 weekday. There's no one around. You basically just walk the park and ride. And our daughter was little, so we just go do whatever, go have dinner, go home, and it was fine. You do it all the time. But I don't even know if they even do a pass now for that.
I think they still have a pass, but it's modified. And I think they have additional passes. It's like a straight to the line pass or something like that, straight to the front of the line. Yeah,
there's always thing now where you got to pay to be a VIP now.
Yeah,
it's like a strip club.
And just like a strip club, there's no sex in the champagne.
There's not even champagne.
No, they opened up alcohol service there now.
Well, you're gonna have to because those prices, you're gonna need it. It used to be we'd have the two parks, and we'd have to cross over to California Adventure to go have a drink, and then come back over to Disney.
I've never been to California Adventure either.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was
What?
built then.
It probably wasn't built back then. No.
No. In fact, I think it was under construction at that time.
Yeah, when we used to go out there, it was just open up, and there was in a Fisherman's Wharf, there was a beer stand in there, and then I think Ariel's Grotto had a full bar.
I heard it's Disney's version of City Walk, basically.
Well, that's downtown Disney,
Oh,
so that's between the parks. There's like that downtown Disney area, so there's restaurants and stuff like that down there. So that's where you could go, and then there's bars and stuff out there. Yeah, that's basically the equivalent of City Walk is the downtown Disney.
mhm.
But the California Adventure is just like another theme park with other stuff out there. But they actually did have alcohol in the park, which was like a first.
Yeah. That's why I like not. That's why I like Knott's Berry Farm so much more. Is because it was less popular, but better. It was cheaper,
Mhm.
and it had alcohol.
Yeah,
and-
they
and
used
chicken.
to do, and chicken and funnel cake.
And funnel cake. Yeah.
Feed all my fatty. So we used to do the Knott's was buy a day get the year. It was like $59, and you could go to Knott's. Same thing.
Yeah.
We used to go do Knott's all the time,
And it was closer.
and it was way closer.
It was more ghetto, but we didn't really give a shit.
Didn't care. There's a 50-50 chance you might get stabbed, but whatever.
But it was well kept up. The only reason why it was ghetto is because of the people there.
Yeah, you're as close to Santa Ana.
Yeah. Santa Ana. Holmes.
Yeah, I think when we went there, I believe we were living in Long Beach, so it was like not too far at all.
Yeah, for me, I was living in La Mirada at the time, and that's pretty much one city over. So
Yeah, so you're 5 minutes over.
yeah, 10, 15 minutes at the most.
Yeah,
But Beach Boulevard traffic always sucked.
yeah. Well, 5 minutes is what it should have been.
Mhm.
California time times 3.
Yeah. Fucking California. All right, man. I think we're gonna end this one on
Cool.
that note there of fuck California.
as I prepare for a trip to California.
Well, tell everyone I said hi. Tell Sean to keep his dick in his pants, and
Or not.
yeah, or not. I don't know. It depends on your mood.
I'm gonna make him run down the hall.
He'll do it too.
I know. I'm gonna make him go get me a beer from the lobby.
Just talk a bunch of shit about the Steelers.
All kinds of stuff.
All right, folks. We'll see you on the next one.
Cool. Thanks.